Welcome to the RadioU podcast. Coming up, who is the most annoying player in the NFL?
Also, is Taco Bell finally putting an end to AI?
All that and more on the way next.
All right, here we go with what we call the podcast exclusive segment because it is truly exclusive to you podcast listeners. We love you.
This is the added bonus of choosing the podcast.
Choosing the pod. We decided it'd be fun to talk about today on the podcast baby names.
Mm-hmm.
Because
we have an announcement.
No, I wanted to give that disclaimer. I'm not pregnant. Hudson and his wife are not having a baby.
Mm-hmm.
This just randomly came up when Hudson and I were talking because ever since I was a little girl, and I think all little girls do this, you think about baby names. You just think about that. And I mentioned to you some of the baby names that I liked, and one of them caught your attention as kind of a wild name, and you were like, I don't think I like that.
Yeah.
And that was Tyler, but for a girl. I
feel a lot of pressure when other people ask me about baby names.
Okay.
Because, like, you tend to not want to argue with people.
Yeah.
Even though I love bickering a little bit, but I don't want, like, anything that has any stakes to it, I don't like to actually argue.
Well, there is no stakes to this.
Well, eventually.
But also, like, I'm not pregnant. I'm not married, so I'm not planning to have any kids anytime soon. So you can be honest with me.
And you shouldn't choose your child's name based off of my opinion.
That's fair.
But
I could get married and my husband absolutely hates that name.
You could. But so maybe I'm just preparing you for this. I've had some friends that have chosen some wild names for their kids, and one of them literally before, like, they told me when they told me and Mrs. Hudson at the time, they told us they were pregnant, and they're like, we've already picked out the name, and we already know you guys are gonna hate it, but we're picking it anyway.
They started with that. That was a precursor.
Yeah, but we were that good of friends. That,
okay.
They knew we would hate it, and they were fine, and whatever. Like, it's fine. But I feel it's almost a responsibility, though, when somebody does come up with a wild name,
to tell them,
to let them know, like, this is going to be wild. Okay, so I already know, but tell everyone else your wild name.
Well, it's Tyler. Tyler for a girl.
Which is that, like, I'm telling you, aren't you concerned that that's going to be confusing for everyone?
Maybe, but I do think that, like, it's not an uncommon name.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like because it's not, like, super uncommon, it's not as big of a hurdle to see it be flipped, like a gender flipped name.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like a more uncommon boy name that I was then suddenly switching to a girl name, I think it would be a bigger issue. Like, I've seen a lot of people do that, or celebrities do, switching James from boy to girl. And James is not as common of a boy name now. It's not as common as Tyler, at least. And so to switch it to a girl name, it's like, oh, whoa, it's like alarming. You know, we're not even seeing that with boys as much. But Tyler for me, I think it's also because it has a lot of similarities to other names, like Skylar or Taylor or things like that, which can be girl names. That's why I'm like, it's not that big of a deal.
I don't know. I still feel like I feel like it's the opposite. If it was a more uncommon boy's name that's not as popular now, you would be easier able to get away with it.
Gotcha.
Because it's just not something that people think about. But when people think about Tyler, they're going to think about boys. And when you're looking for personalized things that say Tyler on them, they're going to be boy things.
Maybe.
So I think that's going to be, and when people see your family listed out, they're going to be like, they have a son. Like, it's going to be confusing to them.
Well, what if I give her, like, a girly middle name and we go by first and middle?
Then I feel like that's defeating the purpose, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I always kind of
what middle name would you pair with Tyler?
I really like the middle name Renee.
Tyler, Renee can be a boy's name.
Well, that's true, but I think I see it often as a girl name now.
Yeah. More common, but it's but we also don't live in Quebec or France.
Right.
So.
I was going to say that is French and there are French actors that are male that are named Renee, but I like the middle name Renee. So that could be an option.
Tyler Renee. I feel like that's a lot of work now.
That is a lot
that's
to say.
4 syllables. and you're just gonna always do that just
What
to
if I
be
spelled
just to
Tyler-
clarify it for people.
What if I spelled Tyler with an A instead of an E?
Tyler.
But it's still pronounced Tyler.
I don't know if that's going to be less confusing to people. I think that's going to confuse them more.
Yeah, no, I hate that idea,
Yeah,
actually.
why did you say that?
I hate it. But I'm just trying to come up with reasons why Tyler is okay.
I don't think
for a girl.
I mean, you can do what you want. I always say this. People, you can do what you want. But I would rather choose like a crazy name that's not normally a name than choose a name that everybody knows as a boy's name and be like, but we have the one girl in the world named Tyler.
It's not the one girl in the world.
I would rather name my child Window. I'd rather name my child Window.
I'm not going to name it after an object. Name my baby after an object. But do you have any wild baby names that you've thought of through the years that you're like, I actually kind of like that, even though it's a little bit more uncommon?
I don't think about baby names as much because I have a stance, and this is a long-held stance of mine that came up long before I was ever anywhere close to having children, and that is the woman should get to choose the name with like some certain vetoes that could come from a man, like if the woman wants to name their daughter Tyler. But like the woman has to go through being pregnant.
That's fair.
And so the least you could do is let her name the child. At least the first name.
I've always thought that it should be a joint effort because you should both love the name.
Yeah.
And so I think having both husband and wife work together to come up with the name, I think is a great idea. Like for me, my dad had the name for my older sister. He came up with that. Not the middle name, but like the first name.
Yeah.
It was Lindsay. And he heard it somewhere else and he really liked that name. And so he presented it to my mom and she liked it. And so they went with that.
I think... I mean, that's nice when that works out. I will say that for me and Mrs. Hudson, we have a vast agreement on a lot of the top tier names.
Okay.
We have similar tastes. The one disagreement is that I'm very dedicated, although I'm not going to force this on anybody, but I just like the name Gordon a lot because there's a lot of great famous Gordons.
Yeah.
It's a very and for a boy, it'd be very it sounds
It's a
tough.
strong name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mrs. Hudson disagrees. She thinks it sounds nerdy. And I'm like, name a nerd named Gordon.
Well, I think there may be some nerds named Gordy.
Gordy?
Yeah.
Like who?
I don't know.
Like Gordy who?
I don't know, but I feel like that just does sound like a nerdy abbreviation of Gordon.
Let me list the most famous Gords. People don't really go by Gord anymore.
Yeah.
You don't even hear Gordon very often, but I mean, hello, Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay.
He's a tough guy.
He's the first one I think of.
Yeah. Gordon Lightfoot, a classic Canadian musician.
I love Gordon Lightfoot.
Another Canadian, Gordie Howe. Played to NHL to the oldest age of anybody.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I think that's a pretty good history.
A good, strong Canadian name.
Yeah, it is. It feels like it ties to my Canadian roots,
yeah.
too.
Gordon Ramsay, obviously from the UK, but it sounds like with the Gordon Lightfoot and Gordie Howe, like it's a Canadian
and from
name.
having hockey, or my dad has because I also think this is a name that was in fashion maybe in like it would have been before the 60s, but maybe going up to the 60s.
Yeah.
Something that people would have named their kids, and now nobody absolutely at all names their kid Gordon. But my dad had a lot of friends and knew people that named Gord and Gordy and whatever. So I think, to me, I love it, but I feel like it's never going to, I will never overcome the hurdle of trying to convince Mrs. Hudson, which is fine because we should at very least agree.
Yeah.
But she gets to choose.
Okay. Well, and
other than that, I haven't thought about a lot of names. I mean, sometimes I see names, but I don't keep a list.
I do keep a list. I have kept one for years, but I feel like that is an exclusively girl thing to do.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But I maybe strike Tyler off of it.
No, I'm keeping it on the list until my husband says absolutely not Tyler.
Our very own Nene was crashing out yesterday. I think he probably still is if he's awake. 8772 Radio U. If you weren't listening to Weekdays with Nene yesterday afternoon, the Cowboys, his beloved Dallas Cowboys, have traded Micah Parsons, the best player on the team.
Yes, they have.
And they didn't just trade him to anybody either. They traded him to the Green Bay Packers, baby.
Did you bring your Green Bay jersey?
I have it, yeah.
Okay, because he asked you to bring your Green Bay jersey.
Yeah, when he gets in later today, I know he's going to want to do a segment for his show and for the YouTube channels and everything, for the socials. But this is just our time to just strut our stuff a little bit and celebrate.
I mean, I have nothing to do with this as a Browns fan. I am a third party, a neutral viewer of this fiasco. But I will say, we were talking about it during our RadioU fantasy football draft, what was going to happen, and literally a couple hours later, we found out Micah Parsons going to Green Bay.
I was trying to watch back our fantasy football draft that we live streamed on the RadioU Facebook page and YouTube channel to see, because I know we talked about it, you and I and Nene. I told him, Micah Parsons is not playing for the Cowboys this year.
Yep, you mentioned that.
I said, he's going to get traded. And Nene says, they do this every year with somebody, and they always work it out. And I said, this is different. And he's going to get traded. And then sure enough, but I couldn't remember if that was on the live. I couldn't find if that was recorded on the live stream, or if that was just something we were talking about afterwards. But Micah Parsons, nevertheless, he's been traded. The Cowboys' star defensive player, now on the Packers. The Packers gave up 2 first-round picks and their defender, Kenny Clark, who's very good, but is much older than Micah Parsons, and he's not as good as Micah Parsons. I think Nene's not going to want to hear this, but I think this is good for both sides.
Okay.
Because the Cowboys, like, I think you and I can agree, they're not going to be a Super Bowl team this year.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be with Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
They certainly won't be without Micah Parsons, but this gives them, they got 2 first-round picks now. Yes, they'll probably be like pick 32 because the Packers will win the Super Bowl, but they've got 2 first-round picks in addition to their other first-round picks. Now they can start rebuilding for the future.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the Packers are a Super Bowl caliber team that really needed like that one extra push, and Micah Parsons is certainly that.
Yeah, that is going to help them out a lot. I don't know if I would agree that they are Super Bowl ready, but this certainly puts them in what I would consider contender realm.
Jerry Jones had some good comments on this and some bad ones. He said, we can win more without Micah than we had we signed him.
Didn't he also call him Michael at one point?
I don't know. I saw that. But.
It was in the press conference, and he actually called Micah Michael, like as if he was talking about Michael Irvin. Which is like, Jerry, what are you doing? Please retire.
Yeah, but you know who had the most interesting comments on this? Nene.
Oh my gosh.
Check this out.
Micah Parsons has been traded from the Dallas Cowboys to Hudson's Green Bay Packers.
Listen to the pain in his voice.
I can't deal with this anymore. Guys, I don't think I'm going to watch a single Cowboys game all year.
He's not going to watch
I'm being so for real right now. Of all the teams you had to trade him to, you had to trade it to Hudson's favorite team. Now, I'm never going to hear the end of it. As soon as I walk into this station tomorrow morning, he's going to say, so how about them Cowboys, Renee? How does that feel? We got Micah Parsons now. I'm going to have to go and get a jersey. No! I'm sorry. Guys, I'm really going through it right now.
And here's the thing. It's not just today that he's going to have to deal with me. Every time, every week, all season long, when Micah Parsons does something great for the Packers.
You're just going to be gloating in that.
Yeah, exactly. And when the Cowboys are 3-14, and well, I guess they'll be picking first in the draft, so they have hope for the future.
Yeah, they can build something.
Yeah, but I have hope for now.
Okay.
Man, this is a big weekend in so many ways. One of the ways is tomorrow is a big Powerball drawing. Tomorrow, the jackpot for the Powerball has now hit $950 million. So not quite $1 billion.
But close.
But it's getting darn close. How high does it have to be before you decide to step in and buy a ticket? And people can text in too at 8772 RadioU.
It's tempting, not gonna lie. Almost at $1 billion, and you're just like, what? Might as well. What? Why shouldn't I
It's
take a chance?
It feels so silly.
It does.
It feels so silly that, I mean, what is a Powerball ticket? $2, $3? I have no idea. I've not bought one maybe once in my life when it got a sky-high payout another time. As if it's not normally sky-high. But
for it to hit $1 billion, I feel like pretty rare.
Yeah.
I think this happened, I remember it happening a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And if it's happened in between, then I don't remember seeing that.
Right.
But a couple years ago, I do remember it hitting $1 billion and being like, should I?
Yeah. You know what happened one time, too? It was one, because there's the Powerball and there's the other one, right? The Mega Millions.
Oh, yeah, for like the state of Ohio or something.
Yeah, so I don't know which one's which, but there's another, it may have been the Powerball, it may not, but it was getting up to $1 billion, and it was on a Saturday.
Okay.
And I was like, I got to get a ticket. And so I walked into a gas station, and this was on the Saturday that the drawing was going to happen, and there was this long line of people all doing the exact same thing, and I was like, I guess maybe that's my sign that I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
Because I'd have to wait too long.
You'd have to wait too long, and then also that's your reminder of how bad the odds are to win one of these things.
Right, because this is, I think, the thing that everybody forgets. I don't know a lot about the lottery. Like, I just don't play it.
Yeah.
But what always seems to happen with these big, when it gets too close to $1 billion and over, is that while your odds are always the same of you personally winning it, of getting all 5 numbers right, the odds of you having to split that jackpot obviously go way up the more people play. And so when it's getting to over $1 billion and a line of people are at the gas station, the odds of somebody else also hitting, and then it seems like, oh yeah, $1 billion, but then you have to split it with another person, and sometimes like it gets to the point where like 4 or 5 people win at the same time. So you do have to take that in consideration of if it's really worth it.
But I mean, $1 billion split 5 ways.
It's still a lot.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Apparently, so for this weekend, it's $950 million for the Powerball jackpot. If you took the one-time payment, though, that's only $428.
Yeah, they pretty much cut it in half.
Which is still more than enough.
Still a whole lot of money, but obviously you do have to take a bunch of that out with like taxes and stuff, so you're going to get even less than that.
Yeah,
but I mean, come on. You're still probably going to get in like the $200 million range easily.
Are you still going to get, even with taxes and everything, for a chance at $428 million for like 2 or 3?
This is the appeal. It's the appeal of the lottery.
I'm not trying to talk everybody into it, but also I'm trying to talk myself out of it. Taco Bell may have learned its lesson. 8772 RadioU. Taco Bell, one of the many fast food restaurants that for the last little while has been experimenting with AI in its drive-thru.
Oh, man.
At the expense of its loyal customers.
Oh, yes. I remember us talking about this and being so disappointed that they were trying this out.
Yeah. And I've experienced AI in the drive-thru. I can't remember if I've experienced it at Taco Bell specifically or not.
I haven't, but honestly, I took a whole month off of eating out.
Yeah.
So I haven't eaten at Taco Bell since before then.
Wow. Yeah, okay. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Except for when we did the food fight.
Yeah, which, again, I haven't been to a Taco Bell. I haven't ordered myself.
But Taco Bell, they, according to their CTO, Dane Matthews, is now reevaluating the use of AI in their drive-thrus. It kind of sounds like they are really not very excited about using AI as they had been, like so many were when they started. Not so many of us customers,
yes,
but so many of these fast food chains are like, it's going to be great. It's going to workflow and streamlining and efficiency and what we're all like, yeah, but it sucks. And
it sucks. We don't want 20 tacos when we say we want 2, and that's what AI does. Is it messes stuff up all the time. So then you have to have a person come in and fix it. And so I feel like it doesn't actually save any time. It might actually delay things by making the orders wrong. So yeah, I don't buy the whole like, this is better for us. And maybe Taco Bell is realizing, yeah, it's not better. And also just overall, I think people are a little bit exasperated by the AI stuff. We like it, but we don't want it in every space.
Yeah.
And so I think some are a lot more wary, and they may be truly turned off from going to a restaurant by an AI drive-thru.
I haven't avoided going to restaurants because of AI, but which I guess at the end of the day is what they probably care about the most.
Yeah.
But I do dread, like I know Wendy's still around us, is absolutely embracing the AI at the drive-thrus, and I dread it. I hate it. I hate having to go through the drive-thru. I also hate having to go through when they have the pre-recorded messages that are from the different person that actually is taking your order.
Yeah, those are annoying.
But that's neither here nor there, I suppose. Dane Matthews of Taco Bell did point out, he said it's still really, really early, but I think this is important. He said that the Taco Bell is continuously working with real, actual employees in an attempt to figure out the kinds of situations where virtual ones can actually come in virtual employees can actually come in handy. This is I watched a video of a guy testing a bunch of AI drive-thrus recently.
Okay.
And he actually talked to a actual Taco Bell employee who was really friendly and helpful. And that Taco Bell employee, this is just one person, but they were saying that the AI drive-thru was really frustrating for the employees because what would happen is the AI drive-thru would inevitably get some orders wrong.
Yep.
And then as an employee, as a real employee, your first interaction is with somebody that's already upset because the AI drive-thru's already messed up things, and they're upset with, like, they're not even upset with you, but they're taking it out on you.
Yep.
And so, like, the AI is just setting you up to just get, to just get reamed out.
Right.
Even though you did nothing wrong.
You did nothing wrong. Yeah, that has to be taken into consideration by these big companies. Like, what are you putting your employees through by making people upset as soon as they go to your drive-thru? Because even if the AI doesn't get your order wrong, you're already just annoyed that you're talking to an AI.
Yeah, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's not like the AI literally gets your order wrong every single time.
No.
Like it can be fine. I watched this video. A lot of people, or a high percentage of the time, it does okay with a lot of things. But is it actually worth it, though, for how it messes up and how it makes the other actual employees feel and how it makes you feel as a customer? Like, we don't need it. We don't need it.
I think it was completely unnecessary to add this in.
But I do have some good news about Taco Bell, some changes to their menu. Taco Bell is rolling out a new classic decades menu, which they've done the decades menu before. They're calling this the Y2K menu.
Oh.
These are 5 new items that are returning items from back when, around the late 90s and early 2000s.
Nice.
That have been since discontinued.
Okay.
So here's what we have. We have the Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos.
It sounds amazing. I didn't know Cool Ranch Doritos have been around for that long.
Yeah, Cool Ranch Doritos are like one of the originals.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever realized that. I didn't think they had been around that long.
Yeah, the blue bag and the red bag, the nacho cheese, those are the classics.
Well, I knew nacho cheese was obviously the long held one. They're
also bringing back the double decker taco.
Okay, I remember that.
They're bringing the 7-layer burrito.
Whoa.
Is that too many layers?
I mean, I'm not a burrito person, but I feel like if you are,
the more layers, the better.
I was going to say, is that really not something you would want?
Yeah. And the chili cheese burrito, who doesn't like chili?
I mean, some chili I like and some I don't.
And Taco Bell chili, the jury is definitely out.
I don't know if I've ever had Taco Bell chili.
I don't think I have either. It sounds like it was discontinued like 20 years ago. And then finally, though, this one I'm excited about. Honestly, I am so hyped for this. They're bringing back the caramel apple empanadas.
Oh, yeah. They brought that for the decades menu.
Yes, right.
And
so
a
this
lot
has
of
been
people
back
love
since.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and they're so good. And it's tough at Taco Bell, too. Taco Bell is one of the only restaurants where I might order a dessert thing because now they have these. And they also have the Cinnabon Delight Bites, those balls with their cinnamon with like cream cheese in the middle, and they're so good.
Yeah.
I always feel stupid getting those because they're like, you get 2 for like $4 or something. But I mean, it's also Cinnabon.
It's Cinnabon.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way about Wendy's, the Cinnabon Delight stuff at Wendy's.
Yeah.
I mean, do they still have those at Wendy's, by the way?
I don't know.
I don't know either. And I guess.
I think that's only a breakfast thing.
Okay. I don't order dessert really ever. I'm just not a dessert person, but I do love Cinnabon.
And here's what may be the coolest thing about this decade's menu, about the Y2K menu. they're all priced like it's the early 2000s.
No way.
As in, they're not literally like the same price they were back then, but they're all under $3.
We love to see it.
Yeah, so now you can really live like it's the turn of the century. Go back
Party
to
like
that.
it's 1999.
Exactly. Go back to that time where you could actually afford fast food. I assume. Anyways, yeah, this is exciting. I'm glad Taco Bell is doing this. I'm so for real right now. I've been actually craving Taco Bell anyways.
Really?
Yeah, I was already thinking about going because when we got the Mountain Dew Midnight
Yes.
with that burrito, I really like that burrito.
Honestly, I was pretty impressed with mine as well. So I don't blame you for craving the Taco
Yeah,
Bell.
I want to go back. I want to not talk to the AI, and I want to get that burrito and a caramel apple empanada.
It'll be
like,
such an enjoyable experience.
and it'll be like $6.
Yeah.
All that happiness for $6?
We love it.
A lot on the line this Saturday. Tomorrow, noon Eastern, college football really gets going with Texas versus Ohio State, 8772 Radio U. Allie, we're going to be doing football picks all season long.
Yes.
And we'll get to our picks for all the big games coming up, but we have to just give Ohio State and Texas its own moment in the sun because this game is going to be so huge.
It's so big. I've heard so many people talk about this game recently, and they're literally like, this is the biggest college football game that we've seen to start a season in so many years. And I think it's because of all the storylines. You have a rematch literally of a semifinal that happened just months ago, not even a calendar year ago, between Ohio State, Texas, and that was a really good game. You have, Sark coming back. He's had 2 semifinal losses back to back. Can he beat the big guy? Can he finally get the big win? You got Arch Manning. You have literally football royalty in this game with a Manning. And then Ohio State off of a national championship run. How are they going to follow that up? So the storylines of this game really lend to it being huge. And it's 1 versus 2 or 1 versus 3, I think, in
Depending
the AP.
on the poll.
Yeah, depending on the poll. So you can't get bigger than that.
Yeah, and just the historic nature of the programs, too, of just these are 2 of the biggest names in all of college football.
Right, 2 huge brands.
Yeah, it's gonna be so exciting. And can I do this though? I
What?
said there's a lot on the line. Can I say though the 12-team playoff has actually taken away from this game already?
I think I would agree with you because I don't think the loser of this game is out by any stretch of the imagination.
There's 3 top 10. This is the first time this has ever happened. 3 top 10 matchups where 2 top 10 teams are playing each other in the first week of college football. But very realistically, all 6 of those teams could make the college football playoff still, no matter what happens this week.
Yeah.
Which does, I feel, draw away from it a little bit. Imagine how huge. But at the flip of the token is these 2 teams have there's so much uncertainty, so much changeover.
Right.
And like if we're under the old system, particularly the BCS system, one of these teams could lose this game.
And then their season's over.
Essentially over, at least as far as going for a championship, which would be ridiculous too.
Yeah, because there's too much talent to let these teams not compete for a playoff.
Yeah. So the good news is they can still earn it no matter what happens. And I really do think that what happens this week too in Texas and Ohio State and in the other big top 10 matchups that we'll predict in a moment, that the way these teams play this week was not predictive at all of what I feel like I can't sit here on Tuesday after all the games have been played and really know all that much about these teams. Even, I mean, this will tell you something.
Yeah.
But the way Texas and Ohio State look today or this weekend will look vastly different from how they look at the end of the season because their quarterbacks are both very inexperienced.
Right.
Particularly Ohio State has a lot of changeover with the coaching staff and a lot of players that they've lost from last season when they won the championship. So it's going to be fun and it's going to be exciting, but also I feel like we just have to take everything with a grain of salt.
Oh, absolutely. That's how it is at the beginning of the season. But let's not waste any time here. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. We need to figure out who we think is going to win this game. I told you off the air, for me, this game literally could go a million different ways. There's so many unknown properties working in this game that I'm like, I don't really know what's going to happen. But I think what's going to help Ohio State get the victory is that all the pressure is on Texas. supposedly they're number one.
Mm-hmm.
They're the number one team coming into this season. Sark hasn't had the big game yet. So is he able to win the big game?
Mm-hmm.
Arch Manning, the Heisman favorite. You're a Manning. You're football royalty. You play for Texas. Can you beat Ohio State? I think Ohio State, like you said, yeah, if they lose this game, not a great start to the season, but they're not out of it. I think all the pressure is on Texas's shoulders right now, and I think that is gonna help Ohio State win this game. I think it's gonna be a close one, but I can also see it being a blowout. I have no idea how this is gonna go, but I'm going Ohio State winning a close one over Texas.
I will give my prediction coming up next.
Okay.
We're doing our football picks. We're going to do this every weekend throughout the season because we can't get enough football. The stakes are high, too, because, Allie, we decided that whoever loses has to do it'll be Tuesday because of Labor Day, has to do an entire segment in an accent.
Yeah, it has to do a full break in an accent, which I think we agreed that for me, since I'm the big Buckeye fan over here, picked Ohio State to beat Texas, I'm going to have to do it in a Texan accent if I lose the picks. And for you, I think my thought was you could do your French accent.
Okay.
You have a plethora of accents you've tried on the show.
Thank you.
But I think I would like the French one to come out.
Yeah, we can just pick. So, like the winner gets to pick, I suppose.
I guess.
So I'll be French if I lose, but I'm not really particularly worried about that. Make sure you're listening on Tuesday to hear.
Find out.
So you already have gone ahead and picked Ohio State versus Texas. You picked Ohio State, shocker, in your Ohio State sweatshirt.
I have them as my number one seed.
Yeah.
So.
I am going to shockingly pick Texas, but here's why.
Yeah, give me your reasoning.
Texas, while they did lose to Ohio State last year in the college football playoff semifinal, that was a close game. The score was a little out of hand versus what the actual, like it was a close game until
it
the
wasn't.
Jack Sawyer fumble.
Yeah.
Recovery and touchdown. So Texas was able to keep Ohio State in check. And while both teams are different because it's been a whole off season, Ohio State is much more different than Texas is. Mm-hmm. Texas has still has consistency on their defense, on their coaching staff. Yes, they have Arch Manning. He's at least taken some snaps in some big games. Although in a couple times he hasn't looked as great, but he has experience.
Snap against Ohio State and fumbled the ball.
He has experience with it. Ohio State, it's just all unknown. What does Julian say? We don't even know. We don't even know what he's going to do at quarterback. We don't know how they're going to call plays with Brian Hartline as their offensive coordinator. Particularly, Steve Sarkisian is great at calling the Texas offense. How is Matt Patricia, the new Ohio State defensive coordinator, going to handle that? He's never done college at all before, so we have no idea. So I like Texas.
Close or a big time score, touchdown? What's your feel on that?
I would be surprised in any of these games, if a team gets a chance, they're going to run up the score, but I think it's probably a closer game.
I think the scoring is going to be tough in this game. I think both defenses are actually really good, and the scoring is going to be few and far between.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the under is the best bet. Okay, the other big games, we have to pick LSU and Clemson. Who are you picking?
I'm going with LSU for an upset.
Wow. Okay, I was going to go with Clemson, and for very similar reasons to Texas. Clemson is like the most consistent team as far as they bring back so many people.
Not all returners are created equal, though.
Yeah. But
and
a team that was good enough to make the playoff last year.
Yeah, but a lot of people are really high on Clemson. It's not that I'm not high on Clemson. Well, actually, I guess I am not because I told you in last week, I didn't pick them to make the playoffs. So I'm not a believer in them, but I'm going with LSU.
I like LSU. This is one of those games where, at the end of the season, LSU may be better than Clemson, but right now, I like what Clemson and Brian Kelly and LSU have a big history of losing in their first game against good teams. Notre Dame, Miami Miami.
I am going with Notre Dame.
Okay, I'm also on Notre Dame.
All right, so we have an agreement for once.
The consistency and Miami, Carson Beck is their quarterback. That's a big question mark.
It's a huge question mark.
And a lot of other turnover. And then on Monday night, we get a standalone game, TCU versus North Carolina with Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick's college debut. I'm so excited. Yeah, and Jordan. I love it. I'm going North Carolina for this one.
I also will go on North Carolina. just because I just have to trust Bill Belichick, especially with so much time to prepare.
Yeah.
Even though I like TCU too.
I like TCU, but honestly, I'm struggling with a lot of these other type of games to really have a feel on any of these teams.
And top thing about that game too, definitely under. Definitely not a lot of points scored.
Okay.
And then we each need to pick an upset. A team that's underdogs by at least 3 points.
Okay.
You want to go first?
Sure. I told you I was really struggling to find an upset because I just don't know how these teams are going to be this season. It's the first week,
the first week is tough.
It's really hard to try and decide who you think would be an upset. But I really love Toledo to win the MAC this year. So you reminded me of a big game. This is the biggest game on Toledo's schedule.
Yeah.
And I'm going with a huge upset here. Toledo to beat Kentucky.
That would be huge on the road. I like the pick. I do. I have kind of an opposite. Northwestern is underdogs versus Tulane.
Yeah.
Why?
I think some people have Tulane being the group of 5 team making it to the playoffs.
I know, but I don't know what that's based off of besides the past.
Yeah.
But we're talking 2025. Tulane is completely different. I think people, with the group of 5 teams, you just remember what the teams that have been good recently, but that doesn't mean they're going to be good this year. And Northwestern is well coached, so I'll take Northwestern as the underdog.
As a Big Ten fan, I appreciate that you believe in Northwestern.
It might be their only win of the year.
No!
So coming up on Tuesday, we'll see who won more picks, and whoever lost more picks has to do an entire segment with an accent. Can't wait. If you're struggling to maintain friendships, don't blame yourself. Blame Friendflation. 8772 RadioU is a new term that really captures the idea of the struggle of inflation and how it is taking its toll on our friendships. You know, there's a lot of talk about how we're so isolated and lonely. Have we ever thought to consider that it's inflation's fault?
I haven't. I have not thought that. But honestly, reading more into this friendflation thing, I think it's true, especially I think if you live in a city, that this could be an issue that you're dealing with where it's just expensive to suddenly hang out with your friends and do stuff. And so you're like, well, I want to maintain my friendships and I want to be able to go do stuff with my friends, but I also don't want to drain my bank accounts doing that. Yeah.
There's a couple of folds to this, I think, that actually really make me hate inflation. Hate what it's done to my friendships. But so first of all, that like while we all can acknowledge like friendship's not about spending money.
No.
It's just about hanging out. But you're not just going to sit at one of your guys' apartments unless you're roommates. You're not just going to sit at one of your guys' apartments forever or at your parents' house forever.
Yeah.
And just only do that. Like you got to do things sometimes as friends.
Right.
You know, that's where memories are made too, is going out to festivals and concerts and whatever, just doing things.
Yep.
Is where you're going to make memories as well. So that's one. Then maybe you have friends and they're not as concerned about friendflation, but they're asking you to do stuff. And you're like, well, I'm trying to be responsible. But the more you say no, the less likely,
they are to ask
no matter what the reasons are, the less likely they are to ask you. And then here's the third thing that I think is the most important is finding friends. If you don't already have friends, how are you supposed to make friends? You have to go out and be places, but going out and being places is expensive.
Yeah.
So how are you supposed to meet new friends?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Now, I would encourage people, again, I do agree that this is a problem, but I think there's a way to overcome this problem.
Okay.
Because there are so many things that you can do, whether it is to find friends or maintain your relationships that are free. Like right now we're in still kind of summery weather and it's nice outside. And so there's plenty of things that you can do, like go to park and go for a walk, or maybe, I don't know, play pickleball or something like that.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of different things that you can do, especially more active lifestyle things that don't cost you anything other than maybe the gas to get there. But if you're already driving to go to a place to hang out with your friends, why not drive to do something with them that's free?
Yeah.
So, I think there's ways that you can overcome this. I know Nene is a part of like a run club that's every Saturday, and he talks all the time about how that's such a great way to meet friends. So there's all sorts of things you can do to meet people or maintain friendships that are free.
Yeah, that is true. You can work through it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you and your friends need to be on some similar page.
Right. Just be honest with them. If you're
Yeah.
struggling with money and you're like, I can't, go out to eat with you guys every night, then just be honest about that.
Yeah. And the sad truth is that might cost you a few friendships, and those friendships might not be as strong because they want to go out and do stuff. But, you got to do what you got to do.
If your friends don't want you to be financially responsible, they probably shouldn't be your friends.
Yeah. But the tough thing is, if it's like, well, what do you love more, your friends or your money? You should say you would think your friends, right? But then it's like, I can't go completely broke.
No, yeah.
Going out with my friends. So it's such a tough balance. Get your popcorn ready. It's our Friday tradition, the weekend watch list, letting you know which movies or nudes you could be watching in theaters and at home. We'll start off with Caught Stealing, starring Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, and directed by Darren Aronofsky. Some pretty big names.
Yeah.
When his punk rock neighbor asks him to take care of his cat for a few days, New York City bartender Hank Thompson suddenly finds himself caught in the middle of a motley crew of threatening gangsters who all want a piece of him.
Oh, boy.
Caught Stealing is now in theaters as an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. Robert Daniels of RogerEbert.com says, the uneven crime thriller Caught Stealing is an admirable attempt by Darren Aronofsky to be friskier yet more conventional in a genre that often rewards a by-the-numbers approach.
Okay.
So he's not a fan.
Nope.
He gave it a rotten. I saw the trailer for this before some other movie I watched, and I thought it looked pretty cool.
I thought it looked interesting as well, so I might eventually have to catch this on streaming.
Yeah. Next up, in theaters this weekend, The Toxic Avenger, starring Peter Dinklage and Kevin Bacon. This is interesting. This movie came out, or originally was released at a festival in 2023.
Whoa.
But is only now in theaters. It's the story of a janitor who becomes a social outcast when a freak accident at a chemical factory turns him into a mutant. However, he soon uses his newfound superhuman strength to battle slimy criminals and a corrupt CEO.
Interesting.
The Toxic Avenger now in theaters. It has an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
William Bibiani of The Wrap says it's a heartwarming, horrifically violent homage to the most lovable Drek ever produced outside of the studio system. Oh yeah, The Toxic Avenger is a remake of a movie that came out in the 80s.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of it before.
It's a name that sounds familiar. It has nothing to do with the Marvel Avengers, just to be clear.
Yes.
But I'm interested in this, but I don't do well with gore, so I don't know if it's necessarily for me, but also I'm a little tempted.
Yeah, I'm tempted anytime there's anything with Kevin Bacon in it. Can't lie.
And maybe, just maybe you don't want to go to the theaters, or maybe neither of those tickled your fancy. Maybe you want to stay at home.
Okay.
I've got the perfect thing. New this weekend is The Thursday Murder Club, starring Helen Mirren, Pierce Brosnan, and Ben Kingsley.
This is Netflix version of Only Murders in the Building.
I guess so. This is a movie where 4 retirees spend their time solving cold case murders for fun, but their casual sleuthing takes a thrilling turn when they find themselves with a real whodunit on their hands. The Thursday Murder Club is now on Netflix. It has a 75% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Not too bad. Maybe I need to check out the rival to Only Murders in the Building. But
so you've seen this before? Or seen something about it?
I've seen trailers for it. And as soon as I saw a trailer for it, I was literally like, okay, Netflix is trying to capitalize off of the success. You know, like they're trying to duplicate the success that Only Murders in the Building, which is a Hulu product, has seen over its past few seasons, which season 4 for that comes out next month.
Yay. This is definitely... They need the young name attached to this, which I don't see. The Selena Gomez.
Yeah, good point. This
Selena
is all
Gomez
just the
type.
old people.
Yeah. Philip DeSimian of Time Out says, grab your nan, put the kettle on, and enjoy some exceedingly fine thefts. hamming it up royally.
Oh, wow.
I was looking at some of the reviews. They really like the cast. I mean, these are...
those are great stars.
Helen Mirren, obviously, Pierce Brosnan, former James Bond, Ben Kingsley, Oscar winner, so...
Yeah. It's tempting me, I'm not going to lie.
I
My
can't wait.
loyalty is to Only Murders in the Building, but this is tempting me.
I can't wait for your review on Tuesday. Also out this weekend, do you remember on Prime Video, the movie or the series, I can't remember, The Terminal List starring Chris Pratt?
That sounds familiar.
Okay, there's a prequel series. The first 3 episodes are on Prime Video called The Terminal List Dark Wolf.
Oh, wow.
Chris Pratt is in it.
Okay.
If anybody liked The Terminal List. And then also on Disney Plus this weekend, this is what I'll be watching besides college football. Thunderbolts.
Woo woo.
I haven't seen it yet. So
really?
Yeah.
You didn't get to see it in
never
theaters?
saw it in theaters.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear what you think.
Yeah, I will definitely, especially with the long weekend, I will make time for Thunderbolts this weekend.
I loved Thunderbolts, so I'm excited to hear what your thoughts are.
I'm also excited to hear what everyone's watching this weekend. Let us know at 8772 Radio U. We always like to see your reviews and share them on the show. That's your weekend watch list. We'll see you at the movies. Who is the most annoying player in the NFL? Let us know who you think at 8772 Radio U. But I do have a survey here by the Action Network with some concerning results, to say the least.
Okay.
According to this survey done of NFL fans by the Action Network, they found that the most annoying player in the NFL is Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
What?
I gotta say, as a Browns fan, I can't argue. I cannot argue.
What is annoying about him? That he wins so much? That he plays so well?
I think
You're
it's just
jealous?
I think mainly he just rubs people the wrong way because he comes up
because he's always beating them.
He comes across as like a little bit like aloof sometimes.
Yeah.
And
is that bad?
It can be a little odd. I think he's just an oddball.
While I don't agree, I know like people think that Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he's odd. He's got a lot of opinions and he's willing to share them.
And he's also a little quirky.
Yeah.
So that just doesn't work with everybody.
I think the way that he's like so upfront about all of his opinions is a little like, I mean, I have a lot of opinions. I feel like I have a show, so I say a lot of them, but I also don't say all of my opinions all the time, and it feels like Aaron Rodgers does.
Yeah, he has no
whenever
filter.
he gets the chance.
Yeah.
But while I don't agree with a lot of his opinions, I respect that he's willing to like have things that are outside the norm sometimes.
Okay.
I appreciate that about him, and also he's just the best.
But one of the things of the consequences of that is that not everyone's gonna like you.
Yeah, that is true. But he is the number one. He had 24% of fans said he is their most hated and most annoying player.
Which I think also shows you that's a good thing, that it's only 24%.
Yeah,
because that's not even close to a majority.
Evenly divided.
Yeah.
Number 2 on the list. This is crazy, though. What has this guy done to deserve this? Travis Kelce.
Yeah, this is just mean.
Yeah.
There's no reason for people to put Travis Kelce as number 2. I get not liking the Chiefs. I don't like the Chiefs because I don't like dynasties unless I'm a part of one. But just to not like somebody because of who they're dating, that's not fair.
Yeah.
How is that fair to Travis?
He does have a very high profile podcast too, but I mean, you don't have to listen to it.
No, you don't have to listen to it. And also, the podcast is great. It's not annoying at all. Him and Jason are awesome together. So I don't think the hate towards Travis is fair.
Rounding out the top 5 most hated or most annoying, let's be specific, the most annoying players according to this survey of fans by the Action Network. Patrick Mahomes was third.
I'd probably put him on my list as the most annoying.
Really?
I gotta be honest.
Number 4, Dak Prescott.
Oh, wow.
I feel like that's kind of mean, too.
Yeah.
Like, he's not very outspoken.
No, I think it's just because he's a cowboy.
Yeah, seriously. And then number 5 shocked me just because, honestly, I didn't even know this guy was still in the league, and I'm a huge NFL fan, but Odell Beckham Jr. is number 5.
I remember I thought he was kind of annoying just because the NFL was obsessed with him when he was on the Giants.
Yeah.
And then
that was a long time ago.
That was so long ago. And then he became a Browns player for a tad bit of time, like like so small amount of time. And I was like, he actually seems like a good guy. But the overexposure, I think, is what lends to this rating. When players are overexposed to you, and I think this is why I don't like Patrick Mahomes as much, is because he keeps winning and I see him way too much with like the commercials and all of that stuff. And this might be
But the commercials are funny.
Well, okay, it's just when you get overexposed to somebody and it's against your will because maybe you don't want to see this person that much, and it brings back reminders of losing to them in the playoffs because that happened to the Browns with Baker Mayfield. They should have won that game against the Chiefs several years ago. Baker Mayfield would still be a Brown if that happened, by the way. And I feel like that's when that whole thing went down the tube. So I've always just had a little bit of like a against Patrick Mahomes since then.
I love how the Action Network also has it broken down by team, your fandom, which team's fans find each player most annoying. And it's Aaron Rodgers or Travis Kelce for every team except one. The Browns. And it's Deshaun Watson.
Oh man. I could put him higher than Patrick Mahomes probably.
By the way, Gary texted in, it's true, Aaron Rodgers is annoying. Gary, jealousy doesn't look good on you. This is crazy. If you could go back in time 5 years to 2020, why? Why would you do that? But
seriously, why?
If you could, here's why you would go back to make this investment. One of the best investments you could have made 5 years ago at 8772 Radio U would be Build-A-Bear Workshop stock.
Oh, I actually love that. That makes me so happy. That Build-A-Bear Workshop has suddenly gone up in stock so high.
Isn't it so shocking, though, that you think about Build-A-Bear Workshop, where are Build-A-Bear's workshops?
Usually malls, which are failing.
Nobody would tell you to invest in mall stock 5 years ago.
No.
Anything involved in malls.
Right. But that's like the only reason malls still exist is to have a Build-A-Bear Workshop.
Yeah, that's right. The Build-A-Bear Workshop is the only thing that's keeping them alive. This is crazy, though. Like, you could say, I think it's surprising to most people that Build-A-Bear's stock has soared in the last 5 years.
It surprises me.
But not just that it's soared generally, that it's gone up at all.
Yeah.
But how much it has gone up. Since 2020, there are only 8 other companies you could have invested in 2020, 5 years ago, that have performed better than Build-A-Bear Workshop.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and all these companies are, unless you follow stocks, like you may know about them, but like they're not household names at all. They're not companies you would know anything about.
So it's not like Apple or Samsung or something like that.
Not even like Nvidia and Palantir, like some of these
big tech companies.
Yeah,
yeah.
While some of these are like tech companies, they're just not household names whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like the best investment would have been Applied Digital. What is that?
Have no clue.
It probably literally cost a quarter of a penny to buy one of their stocks.
Right. So you may not be making much money.
It's gone up 28,000% since 5 years ago. But Build-A-Bear Workshop has gone up 2,900%.
Okay.
In other words, right, if you had spent just a single dollar on Build-A-Bear Workshop on their stock, bought a fraction of a share on Robinhood, that would be worth $2,900.
That is worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How does Build-A-Bear do it?
I don't know. I think Build-A-Bear, the reason it's still around, the reason it's still successful is because of the experience. When you go to a Build-A-Bear, it's so fun. Even as an adult, it's so fun. You want to make a Build-A-Bear. You want to make a bear. You want to build a bear.
How long has it been since you went to Build-A-Bear?
I think the last time I went was before COVID.
Oh, so it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I remember how magical that experience was.
The memories.
But as a kid, especially as a kid, when you're making that bear and you're picking out their outfit and they tell you to like whisper something in the heart before they put it in the bear, like they truly make that experience so fun for the kids. And I think that's why it has been so successful for Build-A-Bear and why people still keep bringing their kids.
I remember talking about this a while ago. Build-A-Bear, maybe something else that's helped their stock is like they've tried to kind of court adults too.
Yes.
Where some Build-A-Bears do like adult only time or whatever, where they have wine or blah, blah, blah. Also, Build-A-Bear, like kind of a underrated but expensive date idea.
Oh.
Yeah.
They also have lots of partnerships. So if you like certain type of bear, like properties, IPs, they do stuff with like Pokemon,
yeah,
Shrek.
Exactly.
You know, they do a lot of stuff that brings in a lot
Lilo
of
and
fandoms.
Stitch.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's working. It's working. How high can the stock go?
I don't know. Thanks for listening to the RadioU podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.